polycystic ovarian syndrome is something that is extremely common. It's a condition, that you're born with. It's not something that you pick up because you were unlucky. It's just something that is also geographically more common in the southern European hemisphere. So in the Mediterranean countries like Greece and Turkey and Spain and Italy, it's much more common than in the North European countries. And it's a condition that the ovaries are actually equipped with a large amount of eggs. I mean, I need to maybe make a small excursion in order to explain what the ovaries are actually consisting of. And we as women, which is one of the big differences between men and women, but amongst social differences, the medical differences, that we as women, we are born on the day of our birth with the amount of eggs that we do have in our ovaries. So we have like 350, 450,000 eggs in our ovaries. And these ovaries, they're kind of sleeping, hibernating through childhood. And then puberty starts, and the hierarching system, the signaling from the brain, from the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland start, and we're started on our way to reproductive age. Every month that we have a cycle, 1 or 2 eggs will be activated. So we have this hibernating pool of eggs. And then, through the release of hormones that get released through the brain axis, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 eggs get activated to become the dominating egg of the month. One of them usually progresses to become the leading follicle. And then when the follicle reaches maturity, which is usually in the middle of the cycle of a woman, anything between day 10 and day 14, the follicle bursts, the egg will release, and so forth. And this happens again and again. So in the course of our reproductive life, every month we lose a certain amount of eggs. And the way the ovaries are supposed to react to the instructions basically by the brain in order to release the growth of one egg, it needs a certain amount of receptors on the surface of the ovary, so that the hormones that are released into the bloodstream, they hook onto the surface of the ovary, and then the ovary gets the information: we need to prepare the egg, release the egg, and then the whole process starts. These receptors in polycystic ovaries, there are quite different. So these receptors in the polycystic ovarian syndrome, they are I would say lazier. So it's much more difficult for the ovaries to actually get the instruction to ovulate. That's why the cycles traditionally are usually long. Women with polycystic ovaries, they have very long cycles. So ovulation really gets delayed. Instead of ovulating on day 12, day 13, day 14, they sometimes ovulate day 25, day 30, or they don't even ovulate when it really becomes into anovulatory cycles. And this is something that, is very classical problem in the polycystic ovaries, that, you do not really get the trigger to ovulate. Ovulation gets delayed. And then, the quality of the egg that gets released eventually is much less. And so comes the whole infertility issue. The infertility issue insists, primarily of slow, delayed release of the eggs from the follicle. And this, will then result in non-fertilizing or not good quality eggs.